Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dan Foles, and this is Rubbin' and Grubbin'.
Rubbing is racing, man. Grubbing is tasting too, man.
In case you get startled, we're happy to be startled by you being here. We hope you have a good time with us tonight. Look, we are looking forward to a spectacular show. NASCAR is off and running.
Yeah, man. Great week last week. It's been a great season so far, man. Three races, 3 different winners. I'm ready, man. I'm ready to see race number 4. What are we gonna do this time, man?
It is so freaking cool.
Yeah.
To have NASCAR back with us. Pardon my teeters. I left my glasses on. Hey. Thanks to John and Adele Henderson, owner of Coach's Corner.
Yeah, center of the universe, man. Center of the universe.
For hosting us here tonight for this show. And this is your home for 2 guys talking about NASCAR. One guy that knows a lot about it, one guy that's learning about it, and we're very glad you're here. Hey, it's time for the Rubbin' and Grubbin' word of the day. If you are over 21 years of age, play along and take a shot or a sip of your favorite grown-up beverage when you hear one of us say that word. Tonight's word of the day is... You know what the word is?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. When you hear it, cheers! The word of the day last week was caution. We're up to NASCAR news. This is a NASCAR show.
Let's do it.
3 NASCAR Cup Series champions participated in a Goodyear tire test Tuesday at Circuit of the Americas in Texas.
Yeah, very interesting. I mean, working on that, working on the tire test, man, trying to get it right. There again, like I say, going a lot of new places this year, especially road courses, working on a new tire, trying to figure out what it's going to do, what these cars are going to do. Valuable information, man, very valuable information. So there again.
There is guys that rode on a track where NASCAR will go this year.
Yeah.
First time NASCAR's ever been there.
I mean, and like I said, that gives you a little bit of advantage in a way. I mean, not that these guys aren't out doing their simulation racing, racing this race course on any piece of equipment they can as far as, technologically wise, video game, iRacing, whatever it may be. They're going to race these courses just to get the seat time, just to figure out, your marks, just to figure out the layout of the racetrack itself, other than just looking at it. So, and then they're going to talk to a lot of guys, and feedback's going to go a long way. So at the end of the day, I mean, you got guys now that with this package and what they're running are absolutely dominant on the road course. I mean, Chase Elliott, the Martin Truex, Denny Hamlin at times, and you even got other players that seem to be in there. So going somewhere new, it's going to kind of equal that out a little bit until it comes down to the information and what you put that data into that car.
Right.
Once you get it set up, and if you got a good car already, I mean, you're going to go miles. So I'm very interested to see what's going to happen here down the road this season, man. It's going to be interesting.
I absolutely love that the first thing you talked about was that those guys, the 3 guys went and got to go on the track. Everybody else gets to use.
Yeah, man.
I'm a pilot. I'm a retired pilot.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll have, they're going to have a couple more at some point in time, and it'll be some different guys that get to go. And like I said,
so that'll be in the car in the seat, but there is a benefit to simulation.
Right. You're going to, like I said, learn the track.
Something we're going to talk about later. The guy that won the last race who came up through simulation. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little bit. All right, spectacular. All right, the drivers that tackled that 3.41 mile track are all defending series champions. Chase Elliott, 2017 title winner Martin Truex Jr., and 2012 champ Brad Keselowski.
There you go, man. 3 of the biggest organizations in the sport, Hendrick, Gibbs, and Penske, all getting to go test. And you already got a guy.
Your guy.
That is been pretty dominant, and I feel like he's at least going to get 2, maybe 3 wins on these next road courses that are coming up minimal. I mean, if he doesn't win more than that. But I'm going to say 2 to 3 easy. And you just gave them more time somewhere getting new information. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. And like I said, I really think that this information is going to go to help all 3 of those teams. Now, I'm very interested to see if NASCAR throws a bone to some smaller teams. Like I to see, the Michael Jordan, Denny Hamlin team get a little bit more. Like you guys just opened up a brand new team. Here's a little help. Couple lower, when I say lower, if not lower A, top B teams. Instead of just the big boys that already have all the equipment and all the engineering and some of the best drivers. So, well, it'll be interesting to see if NASCAR follows suit and let those guys go and get a little tire test here and there for some information. So,
cool.
Yeah, man.
In case you Ford, Chevy, Toyota. In case
Yeah,
you hear a little
all three
background
manufactured,
noise,
man.
every week we do this show right here at Coach's Corner, and what has started to happen is people know we're doing this now, and people have started showing up. And the only thing missing is you, friend.
That's it.
We would like to have you here with us. You can come here. You can come here, holler questions at us, throw money at us for our charity, ask us questions. It's all good. The only thing missing is you. There is a crowd here. You may hear them hollering, coming through our microphones, and we are absolutely ecstatic.
Yeah, to have them, man.
House full of people. Hey, can I hear you all in the house? Yeah. Hey, can I hear you, please? Yes, we're so glad that we have people here with us at the center of the universe.
Coach, man, like Dan said earlier, man, big shout out and thanks to John and Dale Henderson again for letting us do this every week. We can't thank them enough, man. It's just a great time. There again, great eats, great brews, great sports everywhere you look. It doesn't matter if it's bowling, we got tennis. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a curling event coming up like this week sometime. It's probably even going to be on here, man. So at the end of the day, come out, support a great local restaurant. Does a lot of great things for the community, man, and show some love for Rubbing and Grubbing while you're here.
So, going back to that racetrack, every driver described that course, Circuit of the Americas, as fun, and they all agreed it appeared to be a mix of tire wear seen at Sonoma.
Okay.
Has high-speed straightaways and hard braking zones of Watkins Glen. Brad Keselowski said it seemed the course was made to produce a lot of action and hard racing. Quote, Turn 1 is designed as though a fan said, how can I have the most calamity in a corner on the start?
Right. Well, I mean, that's what I was going to say. Everybody seems to be excited and having fun, and it's going to be a fun race until we actually get 38 guys or however many guys out there to do this. And it's somebody, I guarantee, out of all one of these three drivers at some point in time in the day is not going to be happy about being there and what's going on. But I tell you what, like I said, I've become a big fan of the Rovals. If these other actual true road courses are anything like the Roval road course races, I think it's interesting. Watkins Glen, I like watching that. That's a really good historic racetrack as well. And very high speed for a road course. Sonoma is very demanding on these style of cars and the way that they race and setups. That's a cool one. Everyone's becoming unique as well. I'm just still a big fan of, I say 4 a year. 4 road courses a year. I like the fact that one's in the Chase, at the Roval at Charlotte. I like the fact that we go to Daytona, the second one, logistic-wise for the teams and for the sport. Sonoma and Watkins Glen, if you around, or if you bounce maybe one more in there here and there, and do some different things with scheduling, alternating, or whatever it may be, I think it's cool. But man, I'm just super stoked and excited to see what's going to happen at some of these new ones, man. I'm telling you, these road courses especially, because like you said, turn 1, the adrenaline's pumping, the green flag drops, these guys hit it. They all trying to go to the same spot at the same time, as Dan always says. And I tell you what, when that happens, it causes chaos. And as fans, we kind of like chaos. As long as it's not Chase Elliott, I'm okay with any kind of chaos you guys want to do, man.
Listen, we're on the radio on Sunday mornings on ESPN, and that is so much fun to do that. We look forward to you joining us there next Sunday morning. We're here every time. And there's Coach Carl DeMasi in the house.
In the house.
In the house.
You guys aren't going to talk about bowling?
Oh, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Yeah, we're going to get there.
We're looking forward to it.
You got $100 for his shirt.
yeah,
Several Cup Series drivers plan to compete in the upcoming Bristol Dirt Nationals to get a preview of the track's inaugural NASCAR dirt race. Not NASCAR's inaugural dirt race.
No.
NASCAR started on dirt or sand.
Last time they ran on dirt, I think, for a points-paying race was like 1970, somewhere around in there, I'm pretty sure.
I was in 7th grade.
Yeah, I wasn't born for another 26 years, but that's all right.
So So they have put dirt.
16
they have put
years.
a bunch of dirt at Bristol, and you know Bristol's a smart track, so they're
Yeah.
like saying, "Hey, let's have some races."
Yeah,
Put the dirt there.
I'm still just not. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I gotta watch the race before I'm gonna make a true total judgment. And I read about how they're setting
You know what
this
Richard
up.
Petty said about racing on dirt?
What's that?
He said it's not for NASCAR.
Oh well, no, it's
And
not.
he was the last
well,
guy that won on
I mean,
dirt, by the way.
like I said, we're taking a bunch of guys that are, groomed and pedigree in asphalt style racing.
Yes.
I don't care what it is
So
you
they
come
came
from.
up.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 or 5 guys. There's a handful of guys out there that probably came up in dirt, very successful at dirt, run good on dirt. So I'll make a prediction right now. This race at Bristol, I'm going to say there's only going to be 9 cars that finish on the lead lap. 9 cars that finish on the lead lap.
9 on the lead lap on the dirt Bristol track.
Yeah, when it's all said and done. 9 on the lead lap. But it's just something I don't know how I feel about yet. If it's a good race and I see it and something happens, hey, cool, awesome, good race, good entertainment. I just feel like NASCAR as a sport has taken one of the best races that it produces because both Bristol races are amazing. The spring race, this is always a good race. Then you have that night race that is always exciting. But both of these races, these are 2 of the best races as a NASCAR fan.
It's exciting.
You look forward to these as a NASCAR fan. Just that these are historic, man. Like Bristol used to be the hottest ticket in town. Like you couldn't even get a ticket to Bristol.
Right.
And now it's like now we're going to redo that and turn it to dirt. Like I thought we were moving ahead last year, taking the All-Star race and moving it to Bristol. And for $1 million, it's like, all right, now there's no points, there's no nothing. Let's go out and get $1 million. And now we're going to take one away, the point series, and make it a point race on dirt that nobody's done before. I just think it's a little crazy. Like if you were going to do this, and I know it was a short year last year and you couldn't, but if you were going to do this, last year's All-Star race would have been the perfect opportunity, and they went in a different direction and just ran it normal, which I loved. So I just got to see how it all falls out, how it all plays, and if it's a race, I'll say, hey, it was an awesome race. I wouldn't have seen it again. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, man.
Mr. NASCAR, I think what my smarter partner is trying to say is it would be great to have a dirt race on a historic dirt racing track and have left Bristol.
Yeah, or I mean, like I said, even, there's plenty of good dirt tracks that are out there that are already dirt tracks. Now, I understand like the accommodation for fans and seating. But right now we're in COVID. Right now we're doing this. A normal season, I get Bristol. Like you can pack 1 million people in there, a buttload of people.
Right.
But right now you're only letting a certain amount in, and why not go out and spread some love out to a smaller town track, doesn't get the publicity, and make it happen, man. Get back to the roots a little bit. So,
man, I'm glad you just said that.
But at the end of the day, they did what they did. We're going to see how it rolls, man. And like I said, there's only one car I'll be taking or I'll be buying one way in our game of skill. There's only one car. And I'm not even going to say it yet, but there's only one guy I'm taking, period.
There was a time when,
throw me that damn bucket.
There was a time when a NASCAR race came to your town. That was a huge thing for your town. And what I'm thinking of right now is Rockingham.
Yeah, man.
This was a big deal. And God bless Darlington. Darlington is a little tiny town in South Carolina.
Yeah.
And the fact that race goes there is a real
Right.
big
Well, I mean, think about Atlanta, Hampton, Georgia in 1960. I mean, that's when they started racing there. That's when it got built.
Hampton was a long way from Atlanta.
Right, it wasn't Atlanta. It wasn't considered Atlanta, right,
Yeah, that was a long
So just think about that. I mean, all these guys, it's like I said,
deal.
right, it's a big deal. And they did tap into that a little bit this year. So, going to Knoxville, Iowa for, I think it's a truck series race this year, either Truck Series or Xfinity. I think it's Truck Series. So they did tap into that. I mean, that's a huge dirt mega. I mean, there's some big races that go down there, man, dirt racing. So they tapped in a little bit.
Now that I could probably just throw away these glasses because we're just kind of ad-libbing it tonight. Hey, listen, I hope you're enjoying this. Hope you're having fun. We're having a good time. And by the way, tonight we have an incredibly special event on tap for you because this is Brandon Bain, a.k.a. Big. This is the brains behind Rubbing and Grubbing. And what I have in the house with me tonight is the guy that made him. I got the brains behind the Big in the house tonight, and he's going to be up here with us shortly, running 3 wide. Don't go away. And we had some pre-race talk, and it was spectacular. And, when you're talking to somebody that knows what they're talking about, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to do that. And we will do that. All right. So I need to say that Chris Boucher, Cole Custer, Austin Dillon have indicated that they will compete at the Bristol Dirt Nationals. And they expect other drivers to come forward too. For Las Vegas, in the truck race, Camping World CEO Marcus Lemonis, is that how you say it?
Pretty sure, yes,
Marcus,
sir.
if I did that wrong, I apologize. Marcus Lemonis, he asked Monday night, are there any unsponsored teams running the race? And if so, are you interested in my offer for sponsorship for this race? His company is the title sponsor of the Truck Series. He offered a base rate of $15,000 for the sponsorship and said that would increase based on where you finished.
I like it.
He said he would pay that team $50,000 if they won.
I like it.
What a huge boost!
Yeah.
In the truck.
I like
love
it.
Trucks.
I mean, yeah. I mean, what a great move, though. At the end of the day, that's like, you know, the beginner series in the series, right? That's
money,
right.
man.
I mean, that's where everybody goes to make a name, like to get it started, get your wings on you. I mean, and what better of a division of NASCAR for a guy that goes, hey, recognizes there's a lot of underfunded teams and what it costs to run compared to what it is that you win. But this is a farm organization in a way, right? This is how we build our recruits up. You know, you watch a guy from high school to college to the pros. You know, now we're doing trucks, Xfinity, and Cup. So for a guy to go out and be like, hey, man, look, I got $15,000 for a sponsor about making the race for some kid. Hey, you go out and win the race, I'll give you $50,000. Where you finish, I'll pay you more. That's awesome, especially coming from a guy, right, man? I mean, come on, it doesn't get any better than that, man.
If you're a NASCAR fan, understand that the truck race feeds the Cup. If you probably got a computer, that's a pretty cool thing what he did. Get on your computer right now. Go to the Camping World website, and I don't give a crap if you buy a freaking koozie. Just go on their website and buy something. Have them send you something right now. That is how you support the people that support our sport.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's what it's all about at the end of the day, honestly, too, is like I said, that's the farm series. That's where these young kids come in. That's where the next Jeff Gordon, Kyle Busch, the next, you know, Dale Sr., Richard Petty, whoever you want to name. That's where these guys come from nowadays. This is how it works. I mean, it's just like baseball, football, basketball. You got different levels of farm teams. You got minor leagues, major leagues. You got everything. So these are where these young kids come out of the dirt, find, you know, get a name, win, and go, hey, you want to come get in a truck? All right. This is where they get their feet wet in the sport. And, man, it's exciting racing, really good racing. And I tell you what, man, from watching them when they started to where they're at now, it's amazing. Like I said, my great uncle King, as we know, always watches the show, does my thing for me. I actually at one point in time had like a mid-90s Craftsman Truck Series bumper. Had a bumper and a front air dam from one of the trucks that were in the series at the time from a sports bar that was the Checkered Flag in Carbondale, Illinois. So at the end of the day, man, it goes back a long way. And you had some big guys that made careers there. I mean, today's name that comes up when you talk about is Matt Crafton. Been there a really long time. But you had Ron Hornaday Jr. that just absolutely, you know, that's where he made a name for himself. That's where he's made a living as far as the driving went. And I tell you what, man, it's awesome. It's an awesome series, you know. It's an awesome series. So
some of the guys that took advantage of that offer from Camping World: Sheldon Creed, Jordan Anderson, Norm Benning, Grant Enfinger, Raphael Lessard, Jesse Iwuji, BJ McLeod, Dawson Cram, and Parker Kligerman. And I want to just mention one more time, Jesse Iwuji, I hope I said that name right. That gentleman is a veteran. He's a military service member, and he is one of my heroes. Spectacular.
Yeah, man. I mean, with another name on there, Norm Benning, as we were talking about Bart Bain earlier, him and my uncle actually were part of Norm Benning's pit crew for a race in Charlotte one time. Or my uncle did Charlotte, and Dad helped him somewhere else. But, yeah, so.
Racing family.
Yeah, pretty neat, man. I actually have a little, it's back when he drove for Sobey. I actually have a little picture with, it says 2 Buckshot, Norm Benning, and, yeah. So my dad and uncle both were on that. So
since we're having a little love show here about the trucks, what do you say that Rubbin' and Grubbin gets a little bit into a truck team next year.
I mean, I'm feeling it, man. I want a sticker just about like, I just need a sticker about this big. You know what I mean? Like, however much, whatever this
corner, rubbing and grubbing, be on a truck
right,
next
I mean,
year.
whatever this costs me right here, like, you know what I mean? Or like a side panel or something, I'm down with that. You know what I mean? And
do y'all want to be on a truck next year? Can I hear you, please? Yeah. Anybody want to be on a truck next year? Man, wouldn't that be spectacular? Listen, you know it's funny. I'm a retired night stalker, and I was looking at a car the other day and a driver, and there's this little small company called Black Rifle.
Coffee
Company. Right?
Yeah, man.
Well, that was started by a retired special operations soldier, and Nine Line Apparel, which is right here in Savannah, Georgia. Those two dudes are best friends. We could do that. We could be on a truck.
I think we could, man. I think, like I said, nothing too major. I don't need the whole truck. I just need the tailgate or a little side, you know, like I said, a sticker about this big. That's all I need, man. Just something to let me know.
Black Rifle is cool, but all they do is sell coffee. We sell everything.
Yeah, man.
Because we're at the center of the universe.
Yeah, man. That'd be awesome, man.
We sell everything.
That'd be pretty cool.
Okay, let's now shift gears a little bit to the Superstar Racing Experience. This is a series from Tony Stewart and Ray Abraham. They're going to debut their completed on a track this weekend.
Yeah, man.
Abraham tweeted on Sunday, how about a full car on track making laps in 7 days with a test driver, an all-around great guy. A guy that's just got a race. You can log on to their Twitter account at @SRX Racing this weekend to watch that video.
Yeah, I like it, man. I hope it really works out good. We're going to see what it is. You know, I hate to say it, unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit of a different style of racing, which in racing, I think there's all kinds of racing. And if you love racing, not just NASCAR or dirt or, you know, drag or whatever kind of racing you love, if you just love the act and sport of racing,
right,
you're going to get into this just as much, or, you know, maybe even more if it fits your suit more than NASCAR. Now, me, I'm a NASCAR fan. It's kind of like I take, and I hate to compare like this because I don't know what it's going to be, and I'm not saying this is what it is, but XFL and NFL. All right, you got the big boys, and then you got this. Now, with the racing, it's totally different because there's super late models, amazing races. There's, you know, spring, winter. I mean, there's so many different styles of racing. If you're a fan of racing, you love it. So, big kudos to them, man. I'm ready to see what this is going to be. It could be a totally different series. At different times and doing different things in a different style of race, and that might, you know, it attracts some fans from NASCAR or maybe attract to NASCAR. So I just want to see how it works out and see what gets going, man. But big kudos to them for taking the leap and putting it out there. One a good driver, one probably my favorite crew chief of all time, just because him and Jeff Gordon absolutely murdered it. Yes. Only thing I'm mad about is the fact he left. Had he never left, we would be talking about him and Jeff instead of Canals. Like, but anyways, man, at the end of the day, great guy, great engineer. I mean, does his homework.
Let's recap the race at Homestead+Miami. Cool race.
Oh, dude, that was an amazing race. I love Miami, man. And I love a couple.
I said it last week. I love Miami too.
I love a we're not even going to anymore, man. But I love the style racing at Miami. The progressive banking, I think, is amazing. Multi-groove, the longer runs, the outside really gets rolling. You got guys that, you know, are here. You got guys that are on the inside. I just think it's an amazing racetrack. You know, it's something I've always said, you know, we keep talking about repaving Atlanta, and a lot of drivers don't want to do it, which I love. I think it's awesome the way it is. Eventually, you're going to have to, just because of the summers and winters we have here in Georgia, especially Atlanta area and up northern Georgia. Down here, it's not so bad, but at the end of the day, if they do, they might as well go ahead and reconfigure that, man, and progressive bank that too. I think that would be awesome. Yes. I think it's 24 degree now. I think if they take that and make 20, 24, you know, 28, 26, 27, I don't care. And I think it would be pretty freaking awesome. And something to think about, but I think it'd be awesome.
Listen, at Miami, there was great racing all the way around the block. Every race was great.
Yeah.
And earlier tonight, before we started the show, we talked to Noah Gregg. I would like to invite Mr. Bart to come up and run 3 wide with us.
Have mine. I'll take a stool.
I got it right there. I got a chair right here.
Spread out, boys.
I'm right here, sir.
He's getting the stool.
Hey, y'all.
What's up, man?
Hello,
Grubbin.
sir. All right, let me get this microphone. I'm gonna get this out. Down and out.
Seen a woman do that one day.
Bet it wasn't a microphone.
This gentleman right here is Bart Bain, and he actually made that man right there.
I had help. I did have help.
Familiar with the premise of the show, we used to come here and play a game of skill, and I knowing that I'm a helicopter pilot, I don't know nothing about NASCAR. I would ask this young gentleman right here, how's this work? And he would teach me, and that's why I said, well, we should start doing a show. And we started doing it. We've had a great time for years, start doing the show, but actually here's the brains behind the brains.
I'm not so sure about that.
When
But,
did you go to your first NASCAR race?
In 1992, I believe it was, Atlanta.
Okay.
Atlanta, on the original oval. Before they turned it over.
And what year were you born?
86.
So you take him to that first race?
Not that first one.
No, second
I
one.
had to get a feel for it, and after that, I think
Second one from there on out.
I think 6.
Yeah.
Have you been to Atlanta since then?
Yeah, every year.
Every year?
Yeah, don't
Since
think we've
92.
missed a year since 92.
These guys, when they go to Atlanta, they set up camp.
We do.
Yeah.
And as a matter
It's
of fact,
fun.
As a matter of fact, we're all going to be part of the camp this year in Atlanta.
Yeah, man.
Stand by for a live show from the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
That's right, and we're going to invite the whole Turn 2 crew.
Yeah, man.
That's what we gave our moniker, is the Turn 2 crew.
Yes.
And there's a lot of us, and we've seen a lot come and we've seen a lot go, but there is a main course of people that have always been there and always will be there.
Yeah.
And we have big fun.
Yep, good
Big
time.
fun.
Big fun.
Big
fun.
Big
Yeah,
fun.
man.
Listen,
That's right.
I don't know if you've seen it. If this is your first time here, this young man right here is historic for Atlanta Motor Speedway. There is a clip of him on top of an RV as the cars go by, and he kind of goes like, "Show me how you do that."
I can't right now. I don't have the jet fuel to fly, all right? So what I will tell you, it takes about 8 of these before we get started for the jet fuel that it takes to fly the whole race.
You'll know
I'm sorry, go ahead.
You'll know when the landman's ready.
Yeah, you'll know.
That's Atlanta, man, and every spot that AMS does, they put him in there.
Yeah, which big shout out to them as well. I'm grateful for them, man. I tell you what, they do a great job on social media, and that all started. Fox camera guy came up on the race and saw me up there doing it. He was like, "Man, you mind if I come up?" I'm like, "No, come on up." And this was pre-COVID. This was 2014, 15, somewhere around in there. And anyways, he came up and shot some film or whatever, and not knowing if it was going to get on or not. Next thing I know, buddy started blowing my phone up, going, "Dude, I just saw you on the commercial break, man," like when we came back, And since then, I've been in contact with them, and the one year I took the Night Stalkers flag down, we were in contact with AMS, their stuff, and they were going to come by, and it just didn't work out on timing wise to come by and do some promo stuff. But I tell you what, man, I love it. It's a trip for me, just in the simple fact that we sit there and go every year as a group, like, oh, there it is, there's Atlanta, man. And true story be told, first NASCAR commercial I was ever in, I'm pretty sure it was in 1996 or 98. One of the two. Later 90s, and it had my whole family in one sense on my dad's side. It was my grandma, my great uncle, my dad, my mom, my aunt, my cousins. It was everybody, man. So
NASCAR is a family sport.
Yeah, that one ran all season long. That one was NASCAR's commercial for the season, the official NASCAR commercial. So and it was about that fast. It was very quick, just a whoom, and it was done. But it was cool, man.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So before we came on tonight, I saw a YouTube video. I can't remember if it was the Iceberg or Slap Shoes. I think the Iceberg, but there's actually a guy out of there in the blogosphere who has posited that today the X-Men are putting on a better show than the Cup drivers. When I say X-Men, I'm talking about the Xfinity drivers. And when you talk about Xfinity, you got to be talking about Noah Gragson. Noah Gragson is a brash young man with a tremendous amount of talent, and he's had some bad luck lately. And, he crashed.
Big time.
He crashed in the last race.
Big time.
Yeah, those hurt.
And he said something like, he was being interviewed, and he said something like, I don't know, I ran into a dipshit.
That's exactly what he said.
I think that's what he said.
That's what he said.
So Bart, break that down for us. What happened?
Well, bad timing on his part, bad luck on his part.
Right. Was Starr at fault?
I don't think he was. If you go back and watch it, David Starr wasn't laying down. Gregson had been running against the wall.
Yes.
And Starr was down. I think Gregson had enough room to get around him.
Yes.
And the tire blew at the wrong time. And when a tire blows, you're just no longer the ride for the most part.
Yeah.
And it just, and having said that, I mean, it was just another piece of bad luck for Noah Gregson, in my opinion.
Yes.
David Starr's got just as much right out there on that track as he does. So,
that's right.
David Starr's car owner kind of tweeted back and said, he kind of ran out of talent because he wasn't good enough to miss the wreck. So it goes both ways.
Yeah, it does.
That's a little bit of NASCAR drama.
That's right. Definitely does. It definitely does go both ways, man.
So it kind of goes both ways, but I don't think David Starr was at fault by no means.
No.
Yes.
It happened, and it's just another piece of bad luck for Gregson.
Just a race.
Just a race.
Yeah.
Bart, I can't wait to watch the Atlanta race with you. I am looking forward to it.
It's going to be
By the way,
fun.
me and Bart are about the same age.
We are.
This kid is like one of my kids almost, but he is the kid that's teaching me, and we are so excited to have Bart up here with us.
Yep.
And we also got Nancy here with us tonight.
We're excited to have a newcomer to the Turn 2 crew.
Oh yeah, man.
We're going to initiate.
I'm not his old dog, but I'm willing to have a beer.
Dan doesn't quite know what's in store whenever we get in there, but he's gonna get it figured out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It doesn't take
It's been a
long.
while since we've had a good initiation.
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Oh
It's
yeah.
going to be fun. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much.
Always.
For being here.
Love you. Oh man.
Uncle King, I hope you enjoyed.
Oh yeah. Hell. That's his nephew right there, and great grandnephew. He's loving that right now, man. Promise you that.
Let me just clip this up here if I can. And I don't know if y'all can see my shirt, but this is my new business. I love boat tours. It's a
That's right.
six-pack boat. It's based at the brand new Savannah Boathouse Marina. We do boat tours and we take people to Defusky Island.
Yeah, man.
All right. There were 3 different winners in the first race in Cup and Xfinity. Sunday's Cup race saw 7 different teams place a car in the top 10, including one team that had never before done so on a 1.5-mile track. The start of the year has been interesting.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a crazy year so far, as to be expected whenever you have super speedway or restrictor plate, if you want to call it that. Still restrictor plate race off the bat with the 500.
Yep.
Turn around, go to a road course. I mean, those are 2 of the most unpredictable styles of racing that you can possibly have, which I love. I thought it added drama. And then to go out, William Byron, which I called on Green White Checker this past week, was the start of season.
Yes.
You're used to saying that after Daytona, and you really, like I said on there, I'll say it here, after Miami for the next, all the way till the Bristol Dirt Race, you're really going to get some valuable information that can really help you dictate on who's going to have what for about the first 10, 12 races of the season. Maybe a little bit further than that. As we go on, people catch up to where we're setting the bar and the bar moves. But it's going to be interesting this week, different style, half, almost a D-shaped 1.5 miles, very fast, very, very different. You have some long runs, not very caution filled all the time. A lot of guys run good there. A lot of guys have really good long run cars, a lot of different pit strategy. They're just going to depend on how those cautions fall at certain times through the ending stage. and a couple of the beginning stages. But it's just it's gonna dictate to how the race breaks itself out.
Yes.
But looking super excited for it, man. I love the 1.5 miles. Everybody hates it. To me, I love it. It's just a different style of racing that you kind of grow up watching. Yeah, people say it's boring. It's not this. They're not banging. They're not doing this. No, but there's a lot going on that you're not seeing unless you really enjoy loving the sport and wanting the knowledge to know. But that's what I love about it. Dominate them, sometimes go out and lead, crazy amount of laps. But there's also style 1.5 miles that you get guys that are really good races, really good finishes, really close at the end, guys battling for it, 3 or 4 different cars on different strategies that do different things. So we'll see how this one breaks out this week, man, but super stoked for it.
Spectacular. We're up to the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good. Front Row Motorsports. Never before had a team scored a top 10 finish on a 1.5 mile track. Daytona 500 winner Michael McDowell delivered a 6th place finish Sunday. McDowell is one of 2 drivers to open the season with 3 consecutive top 10s.
Yeah, the other one's going to be Kevin Harvick, correct?
He had 4 top 10s last season. The other driver, and this is why I love this kid, Kevin Harvick. And you haven't seen this.
Yeah, no, I don't read that. I'm pretty sure he has an average finish throughout the season of I think he hasn't finished below 6 all season long, so that's why he won the pole award for this week's race. But there being said, very consistent. He's always consistent. It's only a matter of time before he breaks out and gets some wins. What I'd like to see from Harvick this year is not necessarily going out and dominating all these races like he did last year with 9 wins, having the most in the series.
Right.
Let's make the playoffs, man. Let's get it down to where when it really counts, and I know a lot of variables play into that, but that's what I want to see from him. Obviously, he's getting older in his career. What I like to call is one of the guys a late bloomer. I hate to say it like that because that race at Atlanta that he did is a historic race. That race will never be forgotten, after senior pass. That's something that only one man's ever going to be able to do, and it was Kevin Harvick. So that means mountains to the sport. But at the end of the day, he's getting later in his career, and he's what I call a late bloomer. It took a while for him to really start rolling, getting these wins. And I mean, if you look at him from the start of Stewart-Haas and maybe some of the later years at RCR, man, he's rolling. And I'm telling you, man, what he's done when he moved to Stewart-Haas, it's been amazing for the age that he is. So it might be a guy you're going to see run till he's 50. There's no telling, but at the end of the day, he's just got to make the finals, man. Got to get in the Final Four.
Bad. Matt DiBenedetto. This is how rough the start of the season has been for him and the Wood brothers' iconic number 21 car.
It's been pretty bad.
Sunday's 28th place finish was his best result of the year. He's 34th in points. He's 16 points behind Jamie McMurray. And Jamie McMurray's only won 1 race.
Yeah.
And they ugly. And we just talked about this. Noah Gragson had an 8-second lead on the field in the final lap of the Xfinity, when he ran into the back of David Starr's car.
Yeah.
Starr was running in 12th place. He was trying to get down to give Greg some room. Blew a tire.
Yeah. The one thing I do want to say about the bad man being there with Benedetto is just a simple fact, man. You got to look at it like this. This guy after this season is going to be looking for a ride. And as a fan favorite, we all sat there and rooted for him to get a decent ride. And he got the Wood brothers, and you looked at Ryan Blaney coming out of that car a few years prior, and you're like, all right, man, you got a shot now, You got a shot. So for him, I think the Wood brothers, it might be a down year right now. Maybe they'll flip it back around. They just need some positivity in the camp. And I'm sure it's weighing on his mind as well as the team that next year you got Austin Cindric that's getting ready to come drive this car. That's a done deal. That's signed, sealed, and delivered. So at the end of the day, you just got to kind of look at it that way, man. And I really hope Matty D turns it around. Finds a ride next year, lands a good ride, decent ride, and I hope the Wood brothers for sure get it turned around this year as well, man.
Me too. Jerry Lee, you ready to go on? You ready to talk about NASCAR? We got an extra bonus for you tonight. There is a retired Air Force veteran here with us tonight, Mr. Jerry Lee, and and he's a NASCAR fan. We're gonna have him up here too. You're getting a buffet tonight. Let me get this off right here. Set that down there. You come up here so I have that seat. All right. I'm still hung up. Hold on. Still hung up. There you go. Okay. You go have a seat right there. Okay. Jerry, meet Brandon Bain.
Jerry, nice to meet you. Yes, sir. We surely did.
And I'll take that right there. I'm going to hold that for both of us.
Okay, good.
All right. So, Jerry, you're a veteran.
Yes, I am.
Air Force. What year did you go in the military?
1961.
What year did you retire?
1986, 25 years.
25 years. And how old are you now?
I am 78.
78-year-old veteran of military service.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I think that's pretty freaking awesome. I was in the Air Force myself for a little short time before I went in the Army. Go ahead and have a seat. When did you go to your first NASCAR race?
I went to my first NASCAR race in 19... That's 1972.
Yeah.
72.
There you
I
go.
was in 10th grade.
Yeah.
That's close. That's good. That's close enough.
That's right.
Good day.
Up until I went to the Kentucky race, I'd only been to 2 NASCAR races.
Yes.
Okay.
Both of them were in Dover, Delaware.
Oh,
Yes.
awesome
Both
track.
of them 10 years apart.
Yes.
And Bobby Allison won.
Both of them.
And Bobby
Yeah.
Allison
Yeah.
both
There
of
you go.
And that's the only I went to.
Yeah.
There's
That's it.
another Bobby Allison fan in this house, by the way.
Yeah. There's. Tell you what.
Mr. Dan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dan is a
Yeah.
and the producer of our show, the brains behind the camera.
Yeah. I tell you what though. What.
Mr. Dan, the gentleman who does our game of skill here, he was at the second race ever in Darlington.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's a while back.
Oh
that's
yeah.
getting to be
Yes, it was. Yeah, over what I mean, what an amazing race! Like that is such a unique racetrack to go to, and I could only imagine it in those days compared to what it is now. But what an that's on my bucket list of racetracks I want to go to is Dover for real. I mean, that is a cool racetrack, man.
Yes, sir. Dover, Delaware. Spectacular. All right, you brought some stuff here. Are we gonna? You got some stuff to talk about?
Actually, what this is, a friend of mine had a friend, and they was cleaning out his brother's house,
Yes.
and this is all driver cards
Awesome.
from NASCAR driver cards, some sets, some individuals. His brother
Like
had
baseball cards.
Yeah,
like
man.
baseball cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's
I got a good box of them myself.
Oh,
yeah.
Joe
If you've ever
Nemechek. And
If you've ever collected a driver card, drop us a comment. Tell us
Yeah.
what your favorite driver card is.
so,
Because we now have a whole crowd of them right up here in our house.
Yes, we do.
so his friend didn't want them, and he really didn't want them. So he asked, do I know somebody that might want to have a driver card? And I was going to throw them away. I said, nope.
Don't throw
Yeah,
them away.
don't do that.
I got the stuff here. And he said, yeah, bring them on down. So there
we-
they are.
Yes,
Do
sir.
we want these driver cards?
Oh yes,
Yes,
for sure.
yes, we
Oh
do
yes,
want
for
these
sure.
driver cards.
Yeah, that's history through the years right there, man.
Buddy, that is-
I was like, hey, my mom and dad will contest. I got about 3 totes of sports cards, baseball, football, basketball, mostly baseball. I ain't getting rid of not one of them. When I get time, I'll go through them.
Archaeology and have an entire show.
That's it, man.
What-
Based
here
off this
inside
crate
box.
right here, man.
We're going to do that.
That's
Jerry
it.
Lee, thank you so much.
All right.
Yes, sir. And Jerry, thank you for your service, sir, as well. Thank you.
I got an Air Force veteran up here. One more round of applause for Mr. Jerry Lee.
Thank you.
Serve his country. I will get it, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for coming.
Okay.
Man.
Man, we got a good show rolling right here, man. No, this is like a blow up, man. This should have been like the kickoff right here for the 500,
An
man.
American hero. Holy crap.
Yeah,
What a
man.
great night. Oh my gosh. That is spectacular.
Yeah, that was awesome, dude.
Are you having fun?
Oh, I'm having a blast, man, as always. I always have fun. I mean, at the end of the day, we're at the center of the universe, Coach's Corner, in Thunderbolt, Georgia, man, having a time talking about. Love you too, brother, man. We're having a great
We're
time,
having
man.
a good time. All right. It's up to the time for me to say, Mr. Producer. Come on, dude! Come on, dude! Nobody's friend, Joey Logano, after losing the past 2 races in the final laps, he was never a factor Sunday. He struggled with the car's handling. He finished 25th. Come on, dude!
Happens, man. there again, happens to the best of them. You know, I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, I look for a really strong rebound from this guy this weekend. We're going to find out what happens here coming up, if he makes the top 5 picks or not. But at the end of the day, strong rebound from this guy coming up here in Las Vegas, man. I know he has a really good average finish there. Probably going to end up being a factor in this one, man.
Spectacular. Cheers! Rudy Fugle, the crew chief, first Cup win in his 3rd race.
Yeah, man.
William Byron.
Yeah.
By the way, William Byron said, do I have a nickname? Do I need a nickname?
Hey.
When I heard this, I was like, I wanted to scream at the TV. You got a nickname? It's Willie B.
Yeah, man. You know, a lot of folks call him Willie B. Didn't like to be called Billy on the show. I like Kid Byron instead of Billy the Kid, you know what I mean? But, hey, that's Willie B, Willie, a.k.a., you know, Willie the Kid Byron, man. I mean, that man's
Willie
doing
B.
it. Beyond Chase Elliott, as you guys know, I'm always a 24 fan. So there's some place in my heart for William Byron as well, which are both in the Hendrick camp. But I got to pull for my boy. But if there's anybody else I want to see win other than Chase Elliott, it's going to be the 24 car, just because of Gordon and the history there. And I think Byron's talented. I think he's one of a kind. So
if I just burped in your ear, I totally apologize. I am actually drinking beer here. So the first time that I ever heard of iRacing, you and I back in the Soundgarden.
Yeah.
And you said to me, William Byron and iRacing.
Yeah.
I said, what is iRacing? Remember that?
Yeah, man.
And look, he just won a race.
Yeah, man. I mean, groomed himself up through there. I think they gave a thing he didn't even get in a car until he was like 15 years old, and then to turn around and do what he's doing all the time. He's only, I think, 22 right now. So.
15, and Kyle Busch's kid is like 4.
Right. So, I mean, you know, look at it this way. 15 years old, moves up, goes to the Truck Series with Rudy, and 7 wins for Kyle Busch Motorsports that year. And then turn around, go to Xfinity, do what he does in Xfinity. I think he had 4 wins in Xfinity, or maybe 3 at the end of the day. And then, boom, turn around, come into Cup. Couple of years, turn around, won last year at Daytona on the restrictor plate in the summer, and then back it up the 3rd race into this season. I'm telling you, man. Shows the kid's got talent. Hendrick Motorsports has talent, and Chevrolet is definitely coming back this year, dude. Back-to-back championships. Whether it's my boy, like I predict it's going to be, Chase Elliott again for a championship back-to-back, or whether it be somebody else, Chevrolet's back, man. I'm telling you.
Byron's win on Sunday put the number 24 car 5th on the list of the top 5 successful numbers in Cup history.
How many guys raced that one? Not many.
I don't know.
I know somebody that got about 93 of them. I know somebody that got 93 of them.
I love. Listen, as an aviator, everything is about your aircraft number. I love the number. My boat, by the way,
Yeah,
is
man.
shuttle number 1. There's a lot in the number of your machine, and the 24 number is a big deal.
Huge deal.
The top 5 successful in Cup history. The number 2 car is the 4th with 99. Brad Keselowski.
Keselowski today, yeah.
The number 3 car, senior. Right?
Yeah.
And now
Austin Dillon. Yeah.
Our man,
Austin Dillon. Big
shout out to shout out.
Austin the Ace. Austin the Ace, baby.
Austin Dillon. He's
That's
in the
it.
3rd car. The 3 car. Holy
Oh yeah, well of course. I mean,
that he had 199 wins. But the number 1 most win car, and I'm going to tell you, I freaking love this right here. The number 1 car is the number 11 car. It has 224 wins. The first time that 11 ever got put on the side of a car, it was sponsored by Bunnell Auto Sales in Bunnell, Florida, where Highway 11 runs down to my hometown, Florida. I love it. Number 11 is the winningest car of all time. And that leads us to our checkered flag charity. Since the number 24 car of Willie B won, we are donating $24 to our charity of choice. Help save one of our own. That brings our total to $96.
through 3 races, man. That's not too bad.
You could help us with that.
Not too bad. You can. Like we say all the time, man. All you got to do is show up here to Coach's Corner on Wednesdays. Come watch Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Say, hey, I want to make a donation. We say it all the time. Doesn't matter if it's nickels, pennies, dimes, 10s, 100s, 10s, 20s, 100s, 50s. Does not matter to us. At the end of the day, all that matters is you guys coming out and showing support. At the end of the day, it's a community that makes this happen. We can sit up here and talk it and throw as much money in here as we want to do, but it's you guys out there watching that actually make the difference for us and help raise this money for good causes that we do here. And what a better one than help save one of your own, man. Really helped out and showed out in a couple events that we've had here at Coaches with Randy Spear, and to be able to turn around this year and kind of help them out and maybe even make what they do even bigger than they normally do, it's a great honor, man. So like we say, always come out, show up, throw some money in the square bucket, cuss word if you want. You face in here, tell us your favorite driver to me, man. Just show up and donate.
Next week we're going to Las Vegas. What's going to happen? Who's going to win?
Man, it's going to be a wild one there, man. If you want to know who's going to win Las Vegas, off the top of my head, I mean, the first guy that's going to come to my mind is Kevin Harvick, right? We mentioned him earlier in the show. He has a history of running very well there, whether it's a Super, whether it's Penske. Starting from the pole, top 6, all 3 this year. Look for him to have a really strong run. Number 2 for me, I still got to believe in my man Denny Hamlin. I got to look at him in the 11 car and go, all right, now it's time to really get it figured out, 1.5 miles, as well as Harvick last year. Got to get it in order, get a really good solid run going. 3 for me, we talked about him earlier, having a bad run this past week. It's got to be Joey Logano, man. I mean, Joey Logano statistically is probably one of the best car drivers in Las Vegas, has a lot of really good finishes there, a really good run. For me, I can't leave a top 5 out without saying my boy, Mr. Chase Elliott. I mean, you always know I got to take him in there. It's just my guy. No, I mean, he's never going to be left out of a top 5 ever, hardly. So he'll be in 4th. 5th for me, I mean, you got to look at Martin Truex Jr., right? I mean, Martin Truex Jr. there again is a guy that we're used to dominate 1.5 mile races in the past couple years. Got great equipment, got to get it put together eventually and get it rolling, and I think Las Vegas might be a place for him. Now, the first dark horse, for me is going to be somebody a lot of guys are going to look at. No, I don't know how that happened, but it's going to be that a lot of guys look at. I can expect to have a good run. If you remember correctly, last year, Alex Bowman in the 48. This year, 88. Coming on at the end of this race. He was coming on at the end of the race before he got his first win, or got the win there at California. But I tell you what, man, at the end of the day, look for the 48 car with Bowman in it instead of Jimmy Johnson. If there's some long green flag runs in that last stage, if they bring anything like they brought last year, expect to be up front.
If you're still here with us, thank you so much. This show is called is Racing.
Grubbing is tasting.
It's time for us to do a little taste right now. We are here at Coach's Corner, the center of the universe. And who do we have to bring us up to grub tonight but Brandon's mama,
That's
Nancy.
It.
Yay!
Greatest lady ever known right there.
Now, I said Bart made him, but actually she made him. Bart drew the blueprint, but she made him. Okay, so what we got here is a beautiful, delicious sandwich.
You got the Philly cheese, man.
We got the Philly cheesesteak going on, and we weren't really sure.
Fries or tots?
What would be better, fries or tots? What's your vote? What's your favorite, fries or tots? Drop us a comment, let us know. Listen, this is hot, steaming, delicious roast beef with cheese and onions on it. The tots are good, the fries are good.
As always.
And as soon as we get off this show,
yeah,
we're going to be
this game on.
Right?
You know it.
I'm starting to drool right now, like my dog. I'm starting to get ready.
You know it, man. Game on.
So, Nancy, thank you so much for bringing that up here.
Yeah,
thank
love you, Mama.
John Henderson in Coach's Corner. And Big, take us home.
And like Dan was saying, they letting us do this up here, Rubbing and Grubbing live, Coach's Corner, center of the universe. If you haven't seen it, stay tuned. You got the Carl DeMasi Sports Show coming up, AD Chad Griffin, great guys. Look out for the 19th hole coming up here. It ain't going to be long. We're going to be talking about Augusta again. And then always tune in with Travis and Spencer on Hot Grits, man. Those guys are great, awesome. Hey, we didn't get much in about the bowling tournament, but I will let you know, I have no idea what they put in the Boston creams that Coach was eating, but whatever they put in those Boston cream donuts Coach Carl had, man, they lit them up, and my man was bowling fire. But big shout out to the Herb Brothers for winning that. Big shout out to Hot Grits for coming in second. You know, Coach Carl and AD held their own in third. Really strong game in the first against Travis and Spencer. And unfortunately, me and Dan were the last place guys. But at the end of the day, it was all fun. fun, man. Hey, till next time, guys, stay tuned, like, share, subscribe. As always, mask up, stay safe, and as always, I'm waiting on Lawrence. He's coming. Bam, there it is. Wash your hands.
Good night, everyone.
Another good one, man.
Best show ever.
Yes, sir.